Thank you for coming back again to the crypto channel with the least amount of explosions, the least amount of thumbnails with shocked faces in, but the most enticing spreadsheets. Now this video kind of rolls off the back of my previous video, which showed my strategy with regards to staking my money in D-share on Dibs.Money in the piggy bank, claiming rewards daily, and then purchasing a list of tokens taken from my watch list that I'm going to then hold for the long term. I'm sure if you watched the video, it's no surprise to you that the most popular part of the video was in fact a spreadsheet that I was documenting my payouts on and what I was doing with each payout each day, which token I was purchasing off the watch list, how much, what the current value is. I did have quite a few requests for access to the spreadsheet, so I thought I would take this time to kind of recap how my payouts have been going since then, tokens that I've been purchasing. Also want to mention that as well as Dibs.Money that I was using to stake and claim rewards on, I then also moved all of my staked coins from tomb.finance, kitty.finance and Nacho and put them all except Dibs into tomb with a 2 finance, because not only was the APR high, it was at about 4,000%, but your staked tokens were only locked for 12 hours instead of 36. So I liked having that option of coming out of the platform earlier if needed. You can also claim your rewards every epoch, so every 6 hours, whereas the other platforms, they were locked for at least 18 hours, and I was then taking daily rewards. So every 24 hours I was taking my rewards. With Tomb Finance with the 2, I'm actually taking one in the morning at 7 a.m. when I wake up, and then I'm taking another 2, so 1 p.m. and then 7 p.m. again. And this just allows me to stack the tokens that I'm purchasing off my watch list a bit more frequently. And I like I've said in my previous video, I prefer to take my money out of the platform as soon as possible, my rewards at least, and move them into tokens that I am then going to stack for the long term. So as I mentioned, I was getting quite a few requests for access to the spreadsheet. I'm assuming people wanted to use it for their own ledger, for their own transactions, just to keep track of them. So with me also adding Tomb Finance now to the payouts, I thought I'd take that opportunity to revamp the spreadsheet a bit, which I will make available again to people who want it. I will say though that in order to get access to it, if you could just like the video, drop a comment that you're going to be requesting access, and then you can request access, because the amount of people who wanted to access the spreadsheet massively outweighed the amount of people who actually interacted with the video. So for a free spreadsheet, and by the way, it is much more enhanced than this one, don't get too excited, 2 seconds to like and comment, that's all I ask. So without me waffling on too much, if you want to know what my strategy is, you didn't see the last video, just jump back in and watch that one. And we'll head over to the new spreadsheet now. As you can see, look at that thing of beauty. So I've added all of the Tomb and Dibs transactions that I've made with my rewards payouts on here. So quick run through the spreadsheet. We have got the date, obviously, that I took the payout, the reward amount that I took, token I purchased with that payout, quantity of that token, price I purchased it at, the current price, which again is pulled live from CoinGecko. As I said before, there is some lag. This is not a second by second update, so don't come into this spreadsheet and expect to see the price right this second. You know, there are plenty of other places you can go for that. The current price, the price change percentage, the current value based on the quantity you've purchased at the current price, and then I've added the yield platform that I took the payout from, and also the exchange where I'm holding that specific payout or that token that I've purchased with the payout. Now I will run over, if you're going to request access and use this ledger for yourself, then I will later on run over some important information, because some of these columns with their formulas do require you to enter like the token name in a specific format. So I will run over all of that, but before I get into detail, not much has really changed on the ledger side, just a simple day by day, or as you can see, some days there are multiple transactions thanks to the Tomb payouts, but just a note of what my payout was, what I've purchased, and how that price has changed since my purchase. But what I've added also as a good overview is another portfolio page. So portfolio page will drag all of this data in automatically. You don't really have to update anything on it unless you are purchasing a coin that you don't already hold in the portfolio. So to jump over there, as you can see, quickly run through this again. We've got the gecko tag, which I'll go over later, token, that's being held. We've got the live price again pulled directly from CoinGecko with some lag. Quantity, which is calculated from the ledger automatically. Value of that token that you hold. Percentage of your portfolio that specific token takes up. Your average purchase price, so that's calculated from all of your previous purchase prices in the ledger. I've done a percentage change in relation to your purchase price with the current price, and then also added by request your lowest purchase price and your highest purchase price. And we've got a overview of our current portfolio value based off the live price, our total investment, so this in my case the total amount of payouts I've had from the platforms and then reinvested into these tokens, the value change on the portfolio, so self-explanatory, and then that as a percentage. So I'm down 5% currently on the tokens that I've purchased. I've then also added these small overviews which can be personalized. I'll show you later. I've also added, these are the exchanges that the tokens I've purchased are held on, and I can get a quick overview of how each platform is performing, each exchange. And then also for Dibs and Tomb, I can come and quickly see the tokens I've purchased with my Dibs rewards are down 5%. You know, it's not really important, these can be deleted. I think it's quite nice to come in and get a quick overview. And then I did a portfolio snapshot as well, because you know, when you're purchasing different tokens daily and you're building a long-term portfolio, I think it's quite nice to be able to come in. Today I can see I'm, you know, heavily weighted in Arweave in comparison to the Graph or Rune. So maybe tomorrow with my payouts, I'm going to focus on these smaller percentages. It's just nice to see visually where your money is weighted. And again, I will make this available. This will come with the ledger. So if you are going to use this, just note only 2 columns within the portfolio need manual input. All of this data here, all of the graph, and all of this data down here is pulled automatically from your inputs in the ledger. So to look back on my previous video, after 7 days with Dibs.Money, I had £510 or dollars, sorry, payouts. Since then, I have taken a further 1,800 in payouts by bringing Tomb in as well, and managed to build this portfolio just from staking a small amount within the piggy bank on Dibs, a relatively small amount on tomb.finance. So to get into a bit more detail on the portfolio and the ledger, I would advise that you maybe only use this for long-term hodl portfolios. Like for me, I'm only tracking coins that I'm purchasing through my payouts, just simply because I have not tested the ledger with regards to withdrawals or selling tokens. So adding minus values into the ledger may bring back some strange results. It may mess the data up somewhat. I haven't tested it, full disclosure. As I said, maybe just use this if you're planning to stack coins consistently. So I'll just give you a quick example of how inputting some data in the ledger will affect tokens already in the portfolio, and then I'll run over if you want to add a new transaction to a token that isn't already in your portfolio, just to show you how quickly it is to set that up. Let's take, for example, my next payout. I'm going to buy some more Fantom. You can see I've already got 46 within my portfolio, and it's just over 6% of my entire portfolio. So jumping back to the ledger, let's say tomorrow, 20th of Jan, I want to buy Fantom. Now then, this column is probably the most important column within the portfolio and within the spreadsheet, sorry, because the live prices that we get from CoinGecko, as you can see within the formula, we have CoinGecko website, and then it pulls the name of the coin from this column. It's case sensitive, and I'll show you where to get the correct name and correct format. So for Fantom, we said we were going to purchase some more of. Come over to CoinGecko. I'll leave all the links within the description too. Search Fantom, and then if you see in the URL at the top for the coin, it always ends in coin slash, and we need to take the name that CoinGecko have given the coin after that. So coin slash Fantom, as I said, case sensitive. You can either come in and double click in the cell and add it. That will make sure that the live price we pull in is for that token. So 293, as I said, it does lag a little bit from the actual website, and the website itself does lag from the live price. We are going to buy 50, and we got them luckily at a price of $2. So now we've entered the amount of tokens and the price that we purchased them at. we can simply drag down this box here and that will calculate the reward payout we got from the platform. The reason I've done it this way is because say I was getting $110 taken from tomb.finance, by the time I've bridged the token, by the time I've swapped wallets and sent it back to an exchange, I have incurred some fees. So in order to keep all of this tallying up perfectly, I have made this column, the reward payout, a calculation of the tokens bought at the token price, as opposed to what you actually take at the time from here. So jumping back across, this we can drag, these two columns here we can drag down because they are automatic calculations. To make it simpler, I have put above the columns you need to input manually, I have put a little note above them so you can see I've taken a payment from Tomb, say I'll need to enter that, and I'm holding my Fantom on Binance. This updates the small overviews I showed you in the portfolio down here. They're not important, but I like to have them, and you can customize them, which I'll show you later. So anything that doesn't say manually input above it, you simply drag down from the column above and it'll automatically fill. Okay, so now we can jump back. We bought our 50 Fantoms and we can jump back and see that's gone from 46 to 96, and it is now 12% of our portfolio also. And that latest purchase has also brought our average price right down and also automatically inputted our new lowest purchase price at $2. So if we were going to add a token or purchase a token with our rewards that we don't currently hold already, there's a bit more manual input. So come back still tomorrow, let's say we want to purchase something we don't already hold. So let's come over, let's say we're going to add Solana to our portfolio. So again, we want to copy across the token name given by CoinGecko after coins / at the end of the URL and add that down here. We're going to buy 20 of them and we are getting them at $140. So we can drag this column down, our reward payout, which was 2,800, and these two, the live price, we're currently down on our purchase. Current value's down, and we got that from Dibs, and we're holding it on KuCoin. Okay, so we've updated the ledger, but because we don't already hold Solana in our portfolio, we do need to just manually input these first two columns, and then we can automatically update the rest. So this column here, you can call it, this is just your name for the token, so however you know it best, so Solana or Sol. And then this column, the gecko tag, is exactly the same as our token purchased column here. So these are the case sensitive ends to the URL for that specific token. What you can just do is copy it across from the ledger and paste it in here. This now means that we can highlight all of the columns above and simply drag it down, and we now have Solana added to our portfolio. It's updated the snapshot. Solana's 54% of the portfolio, and everything else here is automatically updated just from inputting these first two columns. So I'll quickly get rid of those last two we put in because this is my live one. If you start running out of space, just simply come over to the left hand side, click on a row, right click and insert one row below. As long as you're doing that above the green line, all of the calculations that are pulled through will remain intact, and the same applies for the portfolio page as well. So if you want access to the spreadsheet, I'm going to make this as simple as possible. I don't want to make a video where I'm showing you how to get the calculations for each of the data columns that are pulled through. I'm just going to make the spreadsheet available to you, and now I'll quickly show you how it will arrive to you and how you can start working on the spreadsheet. So quickly jump over to the blank spreadsheet, which is the one that you'll receive access to. It has got one entry on the ledger. This is just so that all the calculations are in place on the spreadsheet. So your first purchase, rather than delete this row, please edit over the row instead to make sure the calculations stay intact. And the same on the portfolio, you're going to have one entry just to make sure all the calculations are in place. So let's say you're starting your ledger today on the 19th. The first coin you're going to purchase might not be Matic. Let's say, for example, Kusama. So we would have to jump over to CoinGecko, search for Kusama, take the coin name from the URL and paste it in here. As you see, this then updates your live price. You'd maybe bought 2 of them and you purchased them at $240, let's say. So that has now automatically updated your reward payout. It's updated your live price, the change, and I said you can change these if you want, or you can delete them, but we'll go into a bit more detail as to what you can use them for later. If you're not using this to track purchases made with rewards, then you can change this to investment amount. For this example, again, we'll just leave it as reward payout. So we've got our first transaction in the ledger. We now need to make sure the portfolio matches our ledger. So because we've removed Matic and Polygon from the ledger, there's now no data to be pulled through to the portfolio. So we'll come over here, change the tag or our name to KSM or Kusama, whichever you prefer. Come back to the ledger and take the token purchase name and copy and paste it across into the Gecko tag. Again, this comes from the URL from CoinGecko. Hit enter, and that will now update our portfolio with the correct values. So now we've got that in place, we come back, and the next day we might want to purchase, let's say, Cardano. Come back to CoinGecko, search ADA. Again, take the coin name directly from the CoinGecko website, paste it in the token purchased. We bought 10 of them and we paid, I don't know, $1.50. We can now drag in the current price and the change, and we can also drag in our reward payout because that's calculated from here, 10 times $1.50. We can drag down our current value, and I'm actually going to leave them now. Again, we don't already have Cardano in our portfolio, so we need to add that. Add the name. Again, come back to the ledger and copy and paste the token purchase name from the CoinGecko website. And we can now literally drag all of these columns and drag them down. This has now updated our portfolio snapshot with the percentages and dragged all the data in from the ledger. So then the next day you come back and you decide you're going to add some more Kusama. Nice and easy now, you've already got that in there. You can just copy and paste. You're going to buy 3 more and you purchase them at a price of $2.50. So once again, you can drag down your reward payout amount. That's calculated from here. Quickly pop the date in. And you can drag these 3 columns down to automatically fill them. Again, leave these 2 last columns. We'll come back to them. And you can see, because Kusama is already in your portfolio, it's automatically updated. You have 5, and it's given you an average purchase price of $2.45. Percentage change on the average purchase price against the current live price, and your lowest and highest purchase price. So you just keep repeating that on the ledger for all your transactions. Any new coins that you add, you just come in and add in the first 2 columns, and then drag down from the row above to autofill the data, and that will automatically fill everything for you. Hopefully that all makes sense and it was straightforward enough to follow. I didn't make a meal out of it for you. Nice and simple once you get going, especially if you're stacking the same coins over and over again, because like I said, once you add to the ledger it will automatically update. With regards to the overviews down here, you can either just come along and delete them if you don't want them. It's not going to affect anything. Or if you're like me and you have, let's say, a joint portfolio with your wife or a joint wallet you pay into monthly alongside a personal wallet for yourself, you could maybe come and change this to wallet, and you could have some transactions going into your personal wallet, some going into your joint wallet. Let's say this one's personal as well. You're keeping all the Kusama to yourself. What you do in the portfolio, these rows here pull directly from what is inputted in these rows here. So you can change this here to wallet again, and then you want an overview of your personal wallet and an overview of your joint wallet. Now all that does is pulls data from this column as long as either of these two words are matching anything in this column. So you can call it whatever you want. You can also come in and add some more overviews if you want. So personal, joint, and then retirement. Oh wow, my spelling is good. Retirement. And then all you got to do is copy that, come down here, and you can simply drag the 3 rows above down here, and because we haven't got any transactions linked to our retirement yet, it's not going to pull any data through. So let's say the first one was for retirement, and that will now update the information in here. So as long as these words match any that are inputted on this column, then it will pull the data through. So for the exchange here, we might have, you might not use Binance, KuCoin or MEXC. Let's say, for example, you use Coinbase, Kraken, and Nexo wallet. So all you got to do is come along here and change these names to match. So the top one might be Nexo, Coinbase, and Kraken. And as long as the names in this column, in the exchange column, match the exchange held column here, it will drag the data through again. Another good use of this area here is, let's say you buy tokens based off people's tips maybe. So you could have a source where you receive certain tokens to purchase, and you want to track how well those tips have paid off for you over time. So let's say you receive some from Discord chat, some from Telegram, and some from Twitter. And you've purchased these coins based off tips that you've received on these specific platforms. So come across here again and we'll get an overview of our Twitter, an overview of our Telegram, and an overview of our Discord tips. And then you can track over time from your ledger and portfolio how well these tips are paying off for you. Again, I just wanted to make this spreadsheet as simple as possible to use. Obviously there's going to be some manual input from yourselves, but hopefully I've made it clear enough how to do that. If you do have any problems, feel free to contact me on Twitter, or feel free to just message me in the comments. I will help you out as much as possible. Again, the spreadsheet's going to be free for you, as long as you comment, like and subscribe. If you request access, I will check that, because again, this has took some time to create the spreadsheet and get it all working. So, asking you to just click 3 buttons, I don't think is too much. I'll probably do a little review again on how my payout portfolio is going after a month, so maybe around the start of Feb. And I'll just come back and update you on how that's going. So lastly, thank you again for taking time to come by the channel and watch the video. And if you want access to the spreadsheet, just drop it in the comments, like and subscribe. Then you can request access and I will grant that for you. So thank you again for watching.